Welcome to Backstory with your hosts, Mylars bandmates and lifelong friends, Quig and Danny. The guys have lots of fun episodes coming, so please take a second to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Now, here's your hosts, Quig and Danny.
Welcome to Backstory. I'm Quig.
And I'm Danny.
On this episode, we're going to talk about the new Mylars single, Satellite Girls, off the new Mylars album, Pop Station. So Dan, this one was your idea from the beginning, so take us through how it was created.
It was basically created just with the thought in mind that, you know, the cyber world has really just completely taken us over to a point where I think it's really hurting, you know, the younger generation of today where, you know, everybody knows what's happening in the world before it even happens, you know, basically. So, you know, for instance, if you want to go see a concert, you can look up the set list weeks in advance. You could look up what the show is going to look like, what the costumes are going to be. And, you know, when we were kids, we would have to wait months to see our favorite band. And we would have no idea what they were going to look like. We had no idea what the set list was going to be. We could only imagine in our heads and, you know, just fantasize about the show that we were going to go and see. And it kept it special for us. And I feel like today's generation, and even, you know, the older generation now that we all have access to this social media, it's taken the magic, I think, a little bit of the magic at least, away from what music is, especially with the live experience. So going back to Satellite Girls, I was playing an acoustic show not too long ago and, you know, just having fun up there playing some old tunes. And I looked out at the people that were, you know, out in the audience, and everybody had a phone in their hands. And, you know, some people were paying attention, but for the most part, I saw a lot of kids on their phones, and I don't know if they were playing video games. I don't know really what they were doing, but I thought to myself, and I'm like, you know what? When I was a kid, if my parents ever brought me to a place and there was somebody on stage doing anything, playing a guitar, had a dog jumping through hoops, you know, but you know what I mean? Like any kind of an entertainer, I wouldn't have been able to take my eyes off that performer the whole night. I would have been just in amazement of that. I probably would have begged my parents to like go up and ask the person a million questions just because I thought how cool it was. I wouldn't have been able to take my eyes off that. And here we are in this generation, and you know, you have a performer on stage, be it me or somebody else, you know, and we've experienced it with the Mylars, you know, and you're playing your heart out on stage and you're looking out and people have their heads down. Or as more in the case with the Mylars, I don't think, you know, it's not so much that. I think with the Mylars, it's more like people are filming the concert.
Yeah, or broadcasting it on Facebook Live.
On Facebook Live, it's like, listen, man, it's experience. How much fun really is it? And how much in the moment are you when your arm is in the air and you're filming something? Now, all of a sudden, you're like, you know, you're Spielberg with your phone in the air. It's not supposed to be about that. It's supposed to be about taking the music in and taking in the experience and seeing your heroes on stage. And, you know, like, you know, I just remember going to see the Ramones or going to see, you know, any of these bands, and you're like, you waited to see these guys. The last thing I would have wanted to do was have a distraction. I remember going to a concert one time at Madison Square Garden, and my buddy convinced me to bring one of those cassette recorders in my denim jacket. Right. And I remember by like the third or fourth song, what an annoyance it was just holding this thing in my hand. I eventually put it down. I said, I'm not doing this. But nowadays you look out and you just see a sea of phones. You see a sea of cameras. And I don't know. I just think that, you know, people are losing the experience.
Instead of a sea of lighters.
Right.
Yeah, like it used to be.
Oh, my God. So Satellite Girls was based on that. It's based on, you know, everybody is tied into the satellite. Everybody's connected to the satellite. A lot more than they're connected into the now, which is really where I think the music experience is. The music experience is in the now. You know, going home and telling your friends about the concert, not saying, oh, yeah, check this video out on YouTube. This is what I saw last night. I think that takes a little bit of the like you said, the magic away. That's Satellite Girls.
Now, speaking of the visual, we also made a video for Satellite Girls, which was filmed in Hoboken, New Jersey, and it was filmed on the rooftop of
the Newman Leather Building. Yeah, it's actually a historical landmark. It's one of the oldest buildings in Hoboken, and they've been trying to knock that building down for years, which is how they got the protection under the Historical Society. They cannot knock that building down now, from what I'm told.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And we happened to pick the warmest night in November, the clearest night in November. And if you have seen the video, if you haven't, you should definitely go see it. There's an awesome view of New York City behind us during the filming of the video. Being there was just an amazing feeling. It was like the whole world was in front of you. There was, you know, the sounds of the city, as well as like the view of the city off in the distance, clear. And then at one point, the moon came up right in between the buildings. It was just an amazing night to film a music video.
Yeah, we couldn't have asked for a better night. Well, who would have thought? I remember we were checking the calendar just to see what was going to be the best night to film it. And I remember looking midweek and going, oh my God, Saturday, it's going to be 70. And it was November. It was just, everything just aligned for us for that night. And the building that we filmed this in, the Newman Leather Building, when the Mylars first started, oddly enough, the Newman Leather Building was the home of the Mylars' first rehearsal studio. So the third floor of the Newman Leather Building now is set up for musicians and artists. So another little historical fact is when the Mylars started, that was in that building was our rehearsal studio, our first rehearsal studio.
And actually, the section where you'll see us, where Danny's checking his watch and the rest of us are spinning around, that's actually in the rehearsal room.
That's right. That's in our old rehearsal room. Wow.
So, all right, let's hear Satellite Girls. When we come back, if you notice, when you do watch the video, you'll see a big mural of David Bowie. We'll tell you who painted that mural when we come back.
Blasting out the Cure, fashion savvy for the season. She's got a nuclear warhead pointed at her brain for a reason. A softly samples to the hearts and lights, and cutting deeper than your link to the sense of sight. Party on the floor, cause she can't be all alone with her feelings. She's waving colors in the air tonight. I'm wondering when we all get so blind. Shake up, shake up, shake up to where we started. Get up, light up this whole merry-go-round. And round, and round, and round. The satellite girls, may never go down. For the signal in the sky, she's Picasso with a knife for the meaning. Shadow filters for a smile, they can light up any lie we're believing. She wants us streaming in the air tonight. She's addicted to the views, she's connected to the lines. 50 shades of gray, sees the colors giving way to the bleeding. She's waving candles in the air tonight. I'm wondering when we all get so blind. started. Get up, get off, light up this whole merry-go-round. Round and round and round. Satellite girls, they never come down. They never come down.
All right, Satellite Girls. So the painting, the mural of David Bowie in the Satellite Girls video, which if you haven't seen yet, you should go see right now, was painted by Eduardo Cobra. He's painted over 3,000 murals on 5 different continents.
Man, that guy's been busy.
Very busy.
Wow.
As busy as the Mylars.
Wow, 5 continents. And he chose Hoboken. Gotta love
That's
it.
just one of them. All right, so that concludes another episode of Backstory. I'm Quig,
I'm Danny.
and we'll see you next time.
Take care.
Backstory has been brought to you by Melody Records. We'll see you next time.